Hi everyone, this is Mackenzie King, founder and artistic director of Moonwater Dance Project. I'm here with several of the dancers of the company and one of our youth board members to talk about the choreographic process of Moonwater 3. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Sure. Hi, I'm Emily. I'm rehearsal director for Moonwater and also, in Moonwater 3.
I'm Summer Smith. I've been a dancer with Moonwater since almost its founding.
I'm Abigail Stacknick, and I'm one of the newest members of Moonwater.
Nice.
I'm Lauren Van Neck, and I'm a student board member.
Awesome. So Lauren, do you want to kick us off with some questions? You've seen Moonwater 3, you got to see it in rehearsal and you saw the filming process of it. Ask us some questions about it.
Do you think it was more difficult, or do you enjoy choreographing so collaboratively, or do you think it's easier to just do it yourself?
I think it was great. Like I came into it with kind of like reserved expectations because I have had a lot of collaborations turn sour just because of different people like trying to achieve different things. And oftentimes people do not make or in my experience, oftentimes people don't make their expectations for what they're looking for in a certain section or a certain idea clear. But what made this so great is that we're friends and we are open with each other about what we want and need. And we're also not afraid to be like, hey, this doesn't match the idea that we're going for anymore. Like, how can we adjust it to make it work for the thing we all want? So yeah, it turned out like the collaborative process turned out much easier and much better and like richer and fuller than I was expecting. And I would certainly collaborate with these people again, though I'm not sure I would say that about collaboration as a whole.
Wow.
Oh, thanks, Summer.
I like
My initial reaction was similar. I was like, ooh, there are a lot of cooks in this kitchen and it might get crazy, but I think it just speaks to who this group of women is. Who this group of women are, that it worked out so well. And it's because we all were very receptive to everyone's opinions. We have a lot of respect for each other and for each person's artistic visions and ideas. So we really did truly collaborate and just pack it all in there in a really cohesive way. So it was great.
Yeah, I always like to work collaboratively. I think that I come up with pretty decent ideas, but I've always just like talking my ideas out and getting other people's opinions, I think really just like elevates them. So that's always been a part of my process. But in the end, it's always been like, this is my piece of choreography. This is my piece. And I want your feedback and your opinions. And I value those. But in the end, it's going to be like my yes or no. And I feel like this time, instead of me saying like yes or no, I like my job as the AD was to more like mediate of like, okay, well, I'm understanding this person wants this and this person wants this. Now, as a group, what do we want? And then it would generally end like here. So I really enjoyed it. And I think it was really fun to be able to like work with everybody in a choreographic way and not just in a like, oh, we're in rehearsal doing someone else's choreography. But really being able to like push each other intellectually as well.
That's awesome. So I know you also collaborated with a composer and videographer. So how was that experience? Because you guys all seem to work really well together. So how was it introducing more people?
Stressful.
when we first heard the
Not
music,
just collaborative amongst 6 dancers already, but now we're throwing in a videographer, an editor, a musician, but 12 musicians. Like, I don't know how much more collaborative we could get. Yeah, costume designer. It's like this show is so fully and organically collaborative across so many artistic fields. It's amazing just to be a part of it. But also, I mean, from the music aspect, it was cool to work with Jeff because from the get-go, like Mackenzie would share with all of us kind of the music pathway that it was going towards, or that he wanted our notes specifically to like create something that would work well with the movement that we were doing. And so he would come into rehearsals as well, and we would let him kind of get to watch these different sections, and that I think helped mold the pieces that he was creating and composing for us. But he had such a cool way of thinking, and the system that he used wasn't the most conducive for us to understand what his music eye was going to be. But no, I mean, he was probably one of the better people we could have chosen for this process.
Yeah, the music was like MIDI files, right? So it didn't sound exactly how the instruments sounded. So at first he had to do a lot of like, this isn't how it's going to sound. Like it's going to be a little bit like richer and like more full sounds than this.
So that's not what a guitar sounds like, you guys.
Yeah. So like when we first heard the files he sent over, we were kind of like, what is this? And then like eventually, like as he like took our feedback and as we kind of like adapted to like hearing it how he was hearing it, like how it's actually going to sound, I mean, then I think it really grew on us. And like the more he worked with us, the more the music and dance kind of grew together in the same direction. So that was really cool to see that like evolution happen.
I was really impressed with Jeff's particular interest in our movement. He really enjoyed coming into the rehearsals, seeing how we were dancing, and then trying to create music that aligned with that. I thought that was a really cool element of the process. Also, I'm really excited to hear what the music actually sounds like because I still don't think I know. So that'll be like a fun little surprise for me. Anyway.
Yeah, I remember like before COVID, I went over to Jeff's and he was trying to explain to me like what certain sounds were going to actually sound like. And I was like taking videos of him like playing something on the piano while also like strumming a guitar while also like taking out a bass and being like, and I can make this sound like a seagull. And like me just like filming all of these things, and then I'd like send them to the group and I'd be like, this real sounds?
Seagull sounds.
Seagull sounds?
Yeah. The MIDI files definitely grew on me over time though.
Well, it was crazy how like, even though he wasn't in the space too much with us, like the dancing and the music went really well together, just like accidentally. Like that whole section 4 that we have, like the calm before the storm, like all of that just really flowed well together without having to put too much effort, I guess. Like he just created such a cool story arc that we were able to just fit right into.
Yeah. And then like with like the costumes, I feel like that process was a lot quicker, and like we all kind of had the same idea in our head. We had a costume designer, Lorianne Barclay, come in and make these costumes for us. And they kind of we wanted them to look like a waterfall almost. And it was super easy to work with her on that.
Yeah, she like sent us a palette, or I had a meeting with her talking about the whole process, and then she sent us the palettes that she liked, and we chose the one we wanted to work with. And then she sent us some like sketches, and then we basically said like, well, we like this or this, we don't really like this, or whatever it kind of was. And then she was like, okay, and like made them. We had a fitting, and then came and brought them to us, and that was really a simple process, which was really nice. And then we've been working with the videographer and the editor, so that process is still in the works right now. And it's fun, but it's also very hard as someone who generally like looks at a piece as a whole, and like from a stage or from, you know, an intimate performance venue or whatever it is. But looking at it from a whole and then saying like, okay, well, this is, how do we keep someone's attention? Because no one just wants to watch like this the entire time. So how do we keep it interesting? So realizing that there are moments where like not everyone needs to be in the frame. In fact, actually like zooming in on one person really like looks better. So it's a learning curve. Been a really interesting learning curve.
Yeah. So how much say did you all have in changing the music or the costumes or different shots that you were using? Or did you just put your faith in the people you were working with?
I would say it's a combination of the two. I mean, we obviously had faith in each other, and Lorianne has been working in the Chicago industry, like for dance, for so long that it's just like we knew that her costumes were going to be a certain level of well made, and they were. I mean, those costumes, we felt bad dancing outside in them, but like they were beautiful, and luckily they're washable, so we weren't too worried. But no, and then with Jeff, I mean, even though Mackenzie knew him for a while, but he just was already like, as soon as he came into the space, just wanted to watch, was very relaxed and didn't try to control the situation, which I really appreciated. He did respect that it is still a Moonwater piece. Same for the editor, the videographer, everyone. It's thoroughly Moonwater. And even though they were collaborative and a part of it, they didn't try to overstep, which I thought was a big thing for them, which, I mean, I was thankful.
Like all the collaborators we worked with understood that this was a piece we were bringing them in for, and for their expertise and definitely for their artistic eye and opinions, and but they didn't try and put their own signature on it in terms of like they wanted it to remain a Moonwater piece and just have their hand helping stir.
And I think in hindsight, it's really beautiful that during a time where art has sort of been shut down and suppressed, we ended up creating this product with so many artists who were involved. And I feel really excited that it ended up working so well with everyone all together during quarantine.
Well, I can say it was beautiful, and yeah. So,
thanks, Lauren.
That's all the questions that I had. So yeah, thank you. And
Thank you.
I think that was good, you guys.
Yeah, thank you for putting this together.
Yeah, we want to do a few more of these. I think that this one was long enough that it could be probably split up into like 2 different videos.
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah. Do you guys have anything else you want to add? Because we can edit stuff together. Anything you want to say that you didn't get to say, or Lauren, anything you want to add?
Summer, that face.
I was just thinking.
I know she concentrates really hard. I was just gonna say, like, please, like once Moonwater comes out, like, show the arts and all of us some support. Like, we worked really hard on this, and we hope that shows, because I mean, for it to be fully collaborative is so something that you don't see in Chicago or really in the dance industry or world. And so to have something that is fully a piece that was created by all of the dancers is just, it's magical.
Yeah, and to add to that, Emily, I just hope that how collaborative this was can be kind of like an encouragement and a hope to other people to stay connected with your community, even if you're very different. Like I'm 5'10", and like Emily, I don't know how tall you are, but like sometimes we have to dance together, and we're like, and so Emily wants to be down on the floor, and I want to be like up with my legs up in the air.
That usually works best.
Yeah, we find a way to like make both of us come together and dance as equals. And I just really encourage people in the dance community, but also just in the art community in general, to look for people that are not like you and work with them, because it can only make you better as an artist, and it can only make the art community as a whole stronger.
That was beautiful.
No, like
Yeah.
snaps.